All right, here we are with, we're testing out and trying out our group coaching program. And we've got Liliana here, and we have Alicia, and Tisha should be here, but maybe she's just a little bit late, or maybe she's forgotten, I'm not sure. But if she pops on, what we'll do is we'll just continue on with the conversation that we're having, and then we will bring her into the conversation. So each of you will get 15 minutes of laser coaching from me. You get to bring one question to the table, and also I usually ask you to bring a second question just in case the first question is a real easy done and one and done, and then you want to be able to take advantage of the rest of the time for me. Okay, so what we'll do is I've got my phone here with our time on it, because we're going to stay pretty strict, that 15 minutes per person. At the end of the 15 minutes, you will we'll decide on what your action step is going to be, because it's all fine and dandy to have some coaching and get some advice, but if you're not going to action it out, there's kind of no point, right? And the whole point of coaching is to make sure that you're making, some really big strides in your business. So there's the advice, there's deciding what you're going to do as your action step, and then there's the follow through on your part. So what would be happening in this group coaching program is that we would actually be meeting in 2 weeks from now. Whatever you have decided on what your action step will be, that's what we're going to, we'd be checking in at the beginning of your time to see if you've done your action step and how that went. And it's intended to hold you accountable. I feel like this is a really big piece of the spa industry as far as spa owners, where we're really dropping the ball is the accountability piece. I'm hearing it from everybody that I'm working with is I have ideas. I love getting your ideas, but I tend to drop the ball in the follow through if I'm working on my own. So we are going to treat this like it's one of the actual coaching sessions in the group coaching. You and I will also, I'm giving you guys access to me via email for the next 2 weeks. Normally in this group coaching program, it would be a Facebook group that we would all be collaborating on with questions. And it's intended so that everybody can learn from everybody else. So it's not just this kind of singular pathway. So you'll have a couple of weeks of access to me to follow up with any questions or concerns, or if you've come up through a bump in the road. I don't want you just to get stuck and not finish it. I want you to, if you get stuck, you contact me, ask me what you need to, and I help you over the hurdle so that we can get you through to actually completing whatever that action step was. Ready to go?
Ready.
Awesome. Okay. So Liliana, how about we start with you? How about you share with me what your question is, and we'll take it from there.
My question was, the first one is, how do I get new clients, and how do I promote my facials more than everything else?
Okay. So how do you promote facials? Is that a second question, or is that kind of, how do I get more clients, or is it how do I get more facial clients?
Yes.
How do I get more facial clients? Yeah. Okay. So I know a little bit about your business already. You specialize in sugaring. And so one thing we need to keep in mind right now is the cyclical nature of our business. And we're going into a season where hair removal is going, that's what people want. So it often helps to keep that in mind when we are deciding how we're going to promote something or market something. If we're trying to, if we want to go with the grain, go with the flow on this, then as far as making revenues, then if this is the time of year where, your sugaring is bumping up, then that would probably be a really great opportunity for you to keep generating more revenues, is to be focusing your marketing on the sugaring for now, from now until August. It's kind of, basically, it's what you'd call the low-hanging fruit. It's the easiest way to generate money. People want it right now. You're a specialist at it, and there's not very many people doing it. So kind of path of least resistance. It's not to say that you want to stop marketing your facials, but maybe what you are doing is the people that are coming in for sugaring is that you, in your conversations, in your treatment room, when it's so easy just to talk about personal stuff, it's an opportunity to bring up things like, I'm actually just taking a poll with my clients. Like, what do you normally do with your skin? Like, what kind of stuff do you use? Like, just to get the conversation started, get the conversation open. I'm a big proponent of, whatever we focus on grows. It's just kind of one of those basic laws of life. And in our conversations in our treatment room, we often get stuck on the personal conversations.
Yeah.
And so if we can keep those conversations 80% business, 80% spa, 80% anything that has to do with our industry, makes it a lot easier to bring up those conversations about, talking about their skin and shifting the conversation over to skin, even though you are waxing.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that client will book necessarily a facial, like pre-book a facial right at the end of that treatment. It may take a few conversations of just, seeding the talk about facials before they feel like they're ready to buy, or whether they feel like it's valuable enough for them personally that they want to buy, that they want to book.
Okay.
So my first piece of advice is to start having those conversations about skincare with clients that aren't skincare clients.
Okay.
The second piece of it is that, as we shift out of summertime and into the fall, this is again a natural rhythm of the spa industry where skincare typically pops up a little bit as more of an interest. The weather starts changing. People notice those changes in their skin. So you can start talking about those changes in your client's skin right now when you're doing a lot more sugaring in order to kind of build up that business. But particularly in September is a really great time to amp the whole skincare topic up. So that means that I know that you do some monthly features. So that means that instead of like a manicure pedicure feature or a sugaring feature, you definitely want to be focusing on your skincare. Whatever facials you want to put on for that particular promotion.
Okay.
So that's how I approach promoting the services that I want to promote, is really focusing on making sure I'm staying away from a lot of personal conversations, and also using the natural rhythm of the spa business to promote things.
Okay.
You said that you, as far as, gaining more clients in general, you said that you have, you've got a referral program.
I do have a referral program, and I give them like a gift card for a friend of them. I had one lady on Thursday, and I gave her 5 gift cards. She has a clothing store in a small town, and I asked her, do you have a favorite client? And she said, I do. Okay, if I give you 5 gift cards for $10 each, would you give it to them? Yes. Okay, perfect. Before Christmas, I write down almost $200 just in $10 gift cards just for new clients. $180.
Okay.
So 18 gift cards.
Okay.
I did get some back, but some of them didn't come back.
Yeah. Which is normal.
They didn't use it.
Yeah, which is totally normal. And that's the thing with marketing, is that, that's why we have to kind of keep promoting, keep talking about, keep sharing that information about your client referral program, because not everybody is going to take you up on it. So anything that has to do with marketing is a numbers game. It's
okay.
Like we have to speak. It's like we typically figure out how many clients it takes for us to kind of touch or connect with in order to gain one paid client. That's how marketers, that's how they figure out their success. It's called conversion. How many people saw the ad? How many people actually purchased the ad? And it's usually it's not a huge percentage. The other thing to keep in mind is that, it costs an X amount of dollars to get any new client in. I think you already get that.
Yeah.
But as far as your client referral program, Are you rewarding the guests that gave the cards?
The same thing. Well, yes.
Okay.
$10 off and next service.
Yeah. Okay.
So you come, Susan referred to Kristen, so Susan gets $10 off and Kristen takes $10 off.
Yeah, perfect. So how, I know I was just doing some work on your website. Do you have that on your website as something on there?
No, not yet.
Okay, let's make a note and put that on there as something like, hey, do you have a friend? You know, we'll figure out some verbiage as far as what to put on there, but you know, it's about kind of check out our client referral system. Everybody gets rewarded. You know.
Okay.
And then as far as your referral program, are you consistent about talking about it?
You know, I do have my own clients that I am with them they are with me for 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I keep talking to them because I do trust them more than the new clients. Mm-hmm. So, you know, last week I had a brand new client and she just see my sign to do sugaring and she want to try it out. And it was great. It was wonderful. She didn't rebook for the next time, but getting into the conversation, I just find out that she doesn't have a job and so budget is very tight. I didn't talk to her about it. It's first time that I met her, so
I would still talk to every new client that walks in the door, despite what you think about how much money they have or don't have. It doesn't matter, because as a client referral program, that's actually a bonus for her if she is struggling financially. You know, if she gets, 5 people to come in for services, then she could have $50 off of her treatment. So you're using your existing clientele to do some hustle for you for your business. So the fact that she is already mentioning that she's got a pretty low budget for things like this would be a motivator for her to have some either discounted services or a free service if she wants to leave. I always allowed my clients, if you wanted to save up all of your referral dollars and redeem it all at one time, I didn't care. I mean, they'd already hustled and done the work for me. As long as those people were coming back, I was happy to either give them their $10 off this treatment or save it up for whenever they wanted.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I rent my room from a massage therapist. So she has a bed downstairs. It's a huge house in living room, dining room. So it's her studio. And I'm upstairs. I was thinking right now, should I give her some gift cards for $10 off for clients that I never see them? I mean, you sometimes you just meet in the hallway. Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah, so she runs her own little independent business.
Yeah,
absolutely. Leverage the people that you're working with.
Okay.
And the same could go for her. Like you can have a little joint venture agreement where, you definitely want to be giving her the cards so that those cards come back and you can track them. That's very important. Yeah. Because you need to know
where they're coming from.
Working. Yeah, where they're coming from. But absolutely. And you can do the same for her.
Okay. I was thinking to go to a travel agency to do the same thing, give them like a $10 off, if clients purchase a trip somewhere before they are going away, just, to come and get something done.
I would actually pair up with a business that has a closer connection to you.
Okay.
Now, when you're working with joint ventures with another business, you're on the right track because their ideal client is your ideal client. And that's what you want to pair up. You don't want to have competing businesses working together, but you want to share the same kind of client.
Okay.
So you're on the right track, but I think you may have more success with somebody more in the wellness field, like maybe a naturopath or a chiropractor, somebody similar like your massage therapist, so that you're creating these relationships that their clients are already involved and interested in self-care.
Okay.
So it's not as much of a stretch as I'm going on vacation and I get this card.
Okay.
I'm not saying no, it's a bad idea. I'm just saying for longevity's sake, for an ongoing relationship, you might want to try with more wellness practitioners.
Good.
So that you guys can help each other, right? Yeah. With the travel agent, you're asking her to do something for you. And although it's giving her clientele a little perk, it's not quite the same. Like, how are you going to bring her business?
Okay.
Whereas if you're working with another service provider, it's quite easy for you to talk about how you can bring business to them and vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah. So, client referral programs are they can work really well. The thing that usually ends up happening is the spa owner usually kind of drops the ball and stops and forgets to talk about it to new guests. But it's one of those things that every new client coming in the door, it should be discussed with them that you have a client referral program and you keep it super simple. I like yours. It's really simple. And then it's just a matter of reminding people about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the hard part. The easy part is putting together a system like a client referral system. The hard part is staying up with, making sure that it's still working. It's not one of those set it and forget it. You set it, but then you have to nurture it along.
Okay. I have here in town a client of mine, and she is a business coach. She's paid by the government. And one time she came in and had a facial, and we talk about, I don't know, how do we talk about business? And we spent almost an hour just talking about. So her idea was to go to the travel agency and do this. I thought it's not really personal, but I thought, you know what? Why not? Just keep trying.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's not a horrible idea, but I think there's some better fits as far as other businesses that work. Good. So as far as an action step for you, I would like you to, in the next few weeks, is to be reminding all your guests that do come through the door this week about your client referral program.
I have a gift card and my brochures in an envelope in my desk, and I will just put them on the desk. Okay, my client is Susan today, and I will give her 3. You get 3, Susan. And I want to put the name from Susan that I know who's coming from.
Yep.
Sounds good? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and maybe like I usually ask them, like, how, do you want one? Do you have somebody in mind? Do you want a couple? Just so that I'm not, giving too many when they know that they're not going to give them out.
Okay. Yeah. Good. I should ask them. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Okay. And then the other action step, if you want to take it one step further, is to definitely talk to the massage therapist and set up a system between the two of you of how you're both going to refer back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you can let me know how that's going. Excellent.
Thank you.
Well done. 15 minutes.
Yay.
All right. Alicia. So before we move on to yours, did you have anything that you wanted to add? Any kind of, anything that's worked for you with your business with client referral programs?
For me, I'm sort of on the opposite end of that. I'm in the aesthetics part where we're doing very well. So some of the things we're doing are, honestly, I don't know what we're doing, why it's working.
Okay.
Like, I don't. I've been an esthetician for over 30 years. I started when I was 18.
Another lifer.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I've been in this town for that almost that whole time. So I've built up a clientele, but some have come and they've moved, they've gone elsewhere, whatever the case is. Yeah, I have a decent client base. So when I opened this spa, I had that existing, and anybody new that I've gotten into my room is a repeat client. Okay. I'm not getting that in the massage area. So that's when I say to you, I don't know why. I don't know if it's strictly me being the owner, being who I am, being, the experience, whatever. The people that I have doing massage are wonderful. I mean, I've had them work on me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hired them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's their follow through. I mean, I have one girl that's been with me the whole time. She works Tuesday through Saturday. and she's got like really one steady person. Everyone else that's come in, you know, we've done like a complimentary upgrade. I don't like to give away stuff for free. Free generates like, oh, they'll do that again, so I'll just wait till they do something free again. Or it's that one-time person that you're never getting back. Sort of like the Groupon mentality.
Right. So, okay. So what I'm actually hearing is that, you know, there's some detective work to figure out what is broken here. And that's not always easy. But I guess my first question is she an employee or is she an independent contractor?
Employee.
Okay. And do you have, so how does your system work for, like rebooking appointments? Does she do this on her own, or do you have a reception team?
We have reception, or myself. Somebody's always there at the desk.
Okay. So if she is not able to retain her clients, then something is going wrong in the process. Whether it is she a massage therapist?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had a secret shopper go through?
I haven't.
That might be something you want to consider, because sometimes when the owner goes through and has a treatment, you know, they're all on, and it's kind of hard to tell what they're like with other clients.
Right.
But if you were going to go ahead and try a secret shopper, I would make sure that that person has like a questionnaire to fill out afterwards, like a very detailed questionnaire. So I'm wondering if, you know, is there something, you know, you'd want questions in there about, like, is there something going on with the consultation? Maybe are they not being heard and the treatment's going differently than what the concern is? Is the pressure too deep for when they asked for it for medium? Is it too light when they asked for medium? So there's a bunch of questions there because there's something that's not matching up.
Yeah, I feel like it's at that end of the massage, like she doesn't know how to reel them back in.
Okay. So
that's where I think her inexperience comes from. You know, she doesn't know to say, the work we did today was great, but it's only the beginning. I'd like to re-see you in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or a month or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. I don't think that follow-up is sort of happening.
Okay. So is that something that you can, well, it's definitely something that you can coach her on, and implement a customer service script that happens after when she's wrapping up. Sometimes I think as service providers, they get kind of freaked out when they're like, oh no, like, oh, I've got to do the business end of things now. And they just don't know what to say. And having customer service scripts really help. It gives them at least a script to follow so that they can create their own natural wording for things. So it may be as simple as that she needs a script to follow, and it's non-negotiable. It has to be a non-negotiable piece of giving the service, just like any of the customer service scripts that you and your team have. Those scripts are set up to create a system for you, a system that creates a repeatable result over and over and over again. It's when we don't have systems for things that people kind of go on do their own things and we wonder why it's not working. So when she was being trained in your spa, was it just kind of a pretty light training, like this is where things are, or was there more in-depth training?
You know, as far as training goes, I don't really train people to do what they're doing for a living. So like I had an esthetician that started with me that decided that I should train her on how to do microcurrent, let's say. I went to school for microcurrent. You know what I mean? Like, so I have a certain expectation when you're coming in my door that you're able to do certain things.
But
like
I
I know,
meaning more of the training, like absolutely. I expect if I'm hiring an esthetician, I'm not training you on pedicures. You don't have
nope.
to. However, I am training you on the protocol of my specific spa. If we do things a specific way, then you have training on my protocol. And it's also training on how you want guests greeted, how you want them taken into the back, how you want the languaging, those customer service scripts. That's all part of training. The sales customer service scripts. How do you want them to? What do you want them to say to get them to for pre-booking? What do you want them to do as far as recommending product? Do you have your team fill out prescription cards, prescription pads? So those are all pieces of training, pieces of protocols that create a system of service providers that can consistently produce, more appointments.
Right.
So I suspect that you might not need to put together some customer service scripts for her in the areas that she's not able to do it for herself. So maybe it's in the consultation process, because of course at the end, you need to circle back to that consultation in order to suggest what you want them to do coming up. So if I come in and I'm having a massage, and in the consultation I say, I've got, my traps up here are always seized up, and I've got headaches, it's going up into my neck and I've got headaches. So she, decides, she shares with me what she's going to be working on, does the treatment, and then at the end, like you said, she's not kind of following up with how she wants them to, what she wants them to do. So at the end, she would say, okay, Kirsten, so I've worked most of this out. You still got lots of sticky stuff in here. I feel this is going to take at least, 3 treatments every second week or every week to get it all out. And then because of the kind of work you do, I suspect you're probably going to need monthly massage therapy just so that you can maintain what the work that we've done. So, I'm circling back saying, I'm touching points that you came to me because this is so seized up. You've got brutal headaches and everything hurts. This is how we're going to rectify that problem. So those are just sales conversations, but service providers get totally freaked out when it comes to the word sales and sales conversations.
Right, but I have to be honest with you. It seems here, I don't know about where anyone else in the group is living. All the massage therapists sort of have another gig. They've got their own private clientele.
Yeah,
she's really not having a problem doing like things outside of here. Let's say an event where she is doing chair massage and promoting her little business. But here she comes in, she doesn't, literally will go to the coffee shop, will not talk to anyone, comes back here, drinks a cup of coffee and is playing a game on her iPad thinking, like miraculously 25 people are going to come in the door and request her. It's not going to happen. So there's only... Is
she taking some business out of your spa and doing...
No, I honestly don't think so. No, and if that were to be the case, I think I would just be goodbye. That's just, I don't think that there's been enough that's come in this, we're not even open a year yet. I think a lot of the people came in, we were running pay for a 15-minute massage and you get an 80-minute massage, that kind of thing. They saw this free upgrade and, they run in the door. And we're not inexpensive, our deep tissue massage is $125 for 50 minutes. It's not an inexpensive thing to be doing, but like I said to you, we're in an area that is really, really concentrated with the wealthy.
Well, I from experience, I know that a lot of that stuff stems from, as the owner, we haven't trained them enough, and they don't have the natural ability on their own. So they're just kind of flopping around, floundering. They don't know what to do. So in a way, it's a lot like parenting, where, if we want our kids to behave a certain way, we have to set the parameters of what we expect. We give them tools to be able to do that. And then we keep following up with them and coaching our kids to make sure that they're getting it. They're finally following a pattern. So it's the same with our staff. One of the things I realized with my team was, I had this huge aha moment where I realized I was seriously dropping the ball. Like, no wonder they were a bit of a gong show, because I hadn't trained them properly. I didn't have any proper protocols. I mean, I had my service protocols, but I didn't have my protocol of how I wanted the guest experience to be from the time that they called and booked an appointment and the time that they walked in through the door, all through their guest experience, and then all the way back out. So what I did was I actually wrote out on a Word document what I wanted that guest experience to be like for every client. I literally took what I was saying up here and put it on paper. And then from there, that's how I created a training program and how I created what I wanted the guest experience, the ultimate guest experience for my spa to be. Then once I knew what I wanted to happen, then it was up to me to train my individual staff members on those processes. So if it was guest services, this is what I want you to say when you answer the phone. These are what I want you to say when you're suggesting a treatment, to add on a treatment. For my service providers, when you're in the treatment room, this is how a conversation needs to happen. Because some of them were just naturally good at it, but most of them weren't. And we can't expect them as spa owners just to kind of throw them in and they should know what they do, what they're supposed to do. So I think she needs some training for sales and for the guest experience, but what you want them to be hearing. Okay. And it will take a little bit of coaching on your part for her. And it depends on how, at this point, it depends if she's open to it or if she's resistant to it. But the point is, what's happening now isn't working. It is so expensive and time consuming to try to keep getting new people in through the door when they can't be retained. It can't keep going on. Client retention is the number one metric that measures client satisfaction. So if your client retention is low, I think the average client retention is 30% for a first visit.
How do you calculate this 30%?
How do you calculate it?
Yes.
It's calculated within a 90-day period. So if a guest comes in today, they should be coming back within 90 days. And a lot of the booking systems can track this. Some of them aren't good at tracking this. So they should be coming in within 90 days. And if they're not coming in within 90 days, there's a couple things happening. Either we haven't told them when we want them to come back. Maybe the service, something happened and it was not up to what they were told to expect. There's a bunch of things that can happen in the middle there. But the point is that if client retention, and 30% is the average, but that's actually really low. Okay, so, successful spas and salons are looking at about 60%, should be looking at 60% retention for first visit.
So if I have like a 10 clients, from 10 clients, 9 are coming back, it's a good thing?
That's a good thing, but make sure that they're coming back within that 90-day period.
They usually come every 30 days.
Okay, perfect. Then you've got very high retention.
Okay. Woo! So I do one thing good.
But Alicia, for you, do you have a system that can track retention?
We do. We actually use Booker.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And we just actually sort of signed off of, we were using their other marketing platform, Frederick.
Okay.
Okay. The first few weeks we were using it, we saw like we rescued some clients that hadn't been in, that sort of thing. Then like it's sort of like fell by the wayside. And I'm going to put that on us because I think Frederick is a great tool.
I've heard from a couple other spa owners that it's been working really well for them.
Yes. If you have an active email list, I think our email list, we started when we opened, we did something called Taste of the Town. And that was where we got most of our names from. So some of those people have become clients and some have never stepped foot in the door. So I think we were emailing a lot of, what was happening was it's a dead list in my head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's almost a year ago. It'll be a year in August that we've been using that list, but we've added to the list. Again, we have new people that come in. People love it here. So I just sort of like, I just think our timing with Frederick's a little off.
Okay. All right.
So rather than spend the money,
right.
We're just sort of like scaling back.
So do you think that if you kind of clean some stuff up in behind the scenes first, that Frederick would be a better fit for you?
I think we need to add more people to our email list is what I really think. People that want to come here. Like Taste of the Town was people were walking the streets and visiting different restaurants and cafes and things. And we weren't open yet. So we were giving the tour of the spa.
Okay.
So some people, love that and have become clients, and other people, we just got this list from the Chamber of Commerce. That's how it worked.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So I'd like to kind of focus on some action steps for you as far as this particular issue. So you need more business with the massage side. We've sleuthed out that there's a service provider that is dropping the ball. So some further sleuthing needs to be done. And I think a conversation needs to be had with her about asking her what she says at the end of a treatment. And when you hear her, I just ask her, what's your spiel? Like, how do you finish up? Like, how do you, what are you saying to people? Once you hear it, you're going to know, okay, ding, 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 ding. Here we are. Here's one of the issues. And then share with her, okay, so this is why the people aren't rebooking, is that we're not sharing with them the information of what needs to happen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you. I'm going to coach you through this. I'm going to put together a customer service script for you. And sometimes it just helps to follow a script until it becomes natural. So your action step would want to be to come up with that customer service script of what you want her to be saying, when she's wrapping up a guest at the end of their treatment.
Okay.
But then, as far as bringing in more, see, the thing is you want to fix this first before you bring in new business to her.
Well, I have 2 other therapists that are here more on a part-time schedule.
Okay.
And they're really very, very well seasoned. One works for another day spa, like 2 towns over, and I know what kind of stuff she's doing there. Mm-hmm. And the other one works at like a Marriott spa.
Okay.
And she's, busy, and she's very good. They're very good, and they know how to talk to people, but I don't have them here as much, but I'm starting to try and promote them. Like I'm doing, there's a gym here in town, very, very, again, high end, and they invited us to come for their 3rd anniversary. We've done chair massage there before. So I've asked one of the other therapists that's never done this with me before to come do chair massage. Well, I sort of work the crowd and, give them our service menus and talk with them about our different services and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that by bringing somebody different, we may bring in some new business.
The other thing is I would take a page out of what I was talking to Liliana about is your aesthetic service providers. Again, it's super easy to get stuck in personal conversations, especially if we become, close with them. That maybe there's some conversation cleanup that needs to be happening in the treatment room, and that we're talking 80% business, 20% personal. It's tough to just make that switch over.
Right.
So maybe the first step of the switch over is, okay, gang, we're talking 50% spa business and 50% can be personal. And then, in a couple of weeks, shift it again for the team. Okay, gang, we're now shifting 80-20. And that, again, you'll probably want to have some ideas for them, like a list of ideas of what they can talk about. And top of the list, if you're wanting to promote more massage services, like Liliana, you want to be talking in those conversations, bringing up the topic of massage. Hey, where do you go for massage? Who's your favorite in town? What do you like about them? You know what I mean? Just talk about it.
Right.
It's more top of mind, so that if you have something on the desk that has like a plexiglass thing for, promoting massages,
right,
the the focus is there on massages, and you're leveraging the existing clients that you have, rather than trying to constantly bring in new business.
Okay.
Okay. So the other action step for you is to pay attention to, for your aesthetic team to pay attention to those 80-20 conversations.
Okay.
And talking about spa business, and more importantly, if you're wanting to promote massage, talking about massage.
All right. I'm just writing it all down.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so it's just the two of you today, so it's a little shorter than what was anticipated, but that's okay. I think that this probably gives you a really great idea of what you can expect to happen in just kind of a short 15-minute laser coaching.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so do you guys have any questions or anything like that?
Oh?
No? Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So like I said, you have access to me for the next couple of weeks, so with your action steps, so please take me up on that. And
So 2 weeks from today?
Yep. From today. I can the things that I can do to help you is for you, Alicia, if you've put together a customer service script for sales, send it to me in a Word document. I'll review it and I can add and tweak some stuff for you.
Okay.
Same time, 3 o'clock?
We're not going to be meeting here again,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm just meaning like you have email access to me for your follow-up, because we won't be meeting you in 2 weeks.
I don't think I have your email. I think I just have the Facebook.
Okay, it's Kirsten@KirstenFoss.com.
All right. Perfect. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you for joining me, ladies.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be chatting with you in the next couple of weeks.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Have a
Bye
great
for now.
afternoon.
Bye.